Okay guys, we're in the Reader's Writer's book and we're on page 348. Okay, if you guys remember from the last lesson, we kind of missed this writing prompt and I said we'd come back to it. Okay, so if you take a look, we need to write a summary of your favorite story. So you don't have to do Ruby in her own time, but because my daughter just learned this story, we'll do Ruby in her own time. Ruby in her own time. But you guys can do any story that we've done over this time, okay? Even the ones from Wonders. So, Ruby in her own time is your choice. So, Ruby in her own time is my favorite story. Ruby takes longer to do things than her brothers and sisters. She eats later. She swims later, but she flies farthest first. She leaves home and then she comes back and she brings her new family. Okay? So what you need to do is on this, look at all this empty page. So they did this on purpose. They want you to write some notes. Okay? And maybe we can do like a kind of a guide of what you're going to write about. So first, Ruby. R-U-B-Y. Okay, so your drawing is going to be Ruby. Okay? Now we need to talk about what you're going to write. So we could copy this. Or we could write our own stuff. So when you listen to that story, this one, Ruby in her own time, what can you remember that you liked the most? And then write it down, okay?
That Ruby can swim.
Okay, so write that down. So Ruby can swim. I feel like my voice is going. Cool. So Ruby can swim. That's one of your favorite parts. What else?
She can fly.
She can fly. Okay. So Ruby can fly.
Because my dream is to be able to swim and fly. Which is
you can kind of swim. I taught you a little bit how to swim.
But I need float pads to swim.
That's just for safety. I don't want you to drown.
One of my friends said they drowned but managed to get out of the water.
Ruby can fly. Cool. Okay, anything else? I think that's okay. So we've got 2 bullet points. So you're definitely going to draw Ruby in your creative writing. And then you can either choose to draw Ruby can swim, so Ruby swimming, or Ruby flying. Okay? So now we look through the book. So you guys probably remember this story. And you guys can choose any page you want to cover. So I quite like this one. I like Daddy Duck and Mummy Duck when she first hatch. They look so happy. So I think I'll do this one. Okay, let's find. Okay, so here we go. Swimming. And there's Ruby swimming. So you could draw Ruby swimming.
I want to draw Ruby flying.
Flying? Okay, let's have a look. So that's when the whole family flies.
But Ruby can fly the best.
And Ruby, there we go. So that's Ruby soaring. That's Ruby flying. That's quite a good one. I think my favourite is when she flies off into the sunset. And the Mummy and Daddy Duck are watching her fly into the sunset. So I'll let you choose what you want to draw. That's when she comes back home. Okay. Okay, guys. So we're going to start our creative writing.
I think I'll draw her swimming.
Swimming? Okay. Let's go back. Okay, that does look easier to draw.
But do I have to do that?
You don't have to do this one. You could do this one up here, or you can use your imagination. You can draw her. See this page as well. They're swimming. I think if you drew just that, it's kind of boring. So much empty space.
Oh, I know what to draw. I just use my imagination.
Okay, so we'll stop this video and we'll go back once we finished our creative writing. Okay. Okay, guys, we are finished with our creative writing for Ruby in her own time. Don't forget, you guys can write any of the stories that we've covered so far. You don't have to do Ruby in her own time, but you're free to copy us if you want to. So we'll go with mine first. So Ruby in her own time, I decided this was my favorite part, where she hatches for the first time and the mother and father are very, very happy. And I wrote, Ruby in her own time is my favorite story. So that's from the actual Reader's Writer's Notebook. You can copy that start if you want to. So Ruby is very cute when she first hatches from an egg. Her mother and father are very happy to see her. Ruby is small and precious. Okay, so that's mine. And then I'll let my daughter do hers. So explain yours, okay?
That's Ruby swimming in the lake. You see there's a starfish.
Okay.
And there's a sheep in the air.
Huh. Funny.
And what I wrote is Ruby in her own time is my favorite story. Ruby is very brave for learning to swim. She makes me want to learn how to swim. I love the story.
Very good. Okay, so we're finished with ours. It's over to you guys. Can't wait to see what you do. Don't forget, you can choose any story that we've covered so far. So Ruby in her own time, a place to play. You choose, okay?
Or class pet.
Yeah, or the class pet. Or you can even go back to the Wonders stories if you want to. Okay, bye for now.